Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network. And we had so much fun breaking down the best ball playoffs as a preview last week. We're going to do it for the semifinals. So wasn't a great week for us for week 15, but we're going to talk what made it through. Week 16 preview. We're going to talk with some sibling showdown teams that are moving on. We're going to talk sprint, marathon, low owned players, week 16 matchups, all the fun in just 1 minute.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Yeah. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team, printing money since day one. Fanspeak, forever.
That's right. Always love that banger from Bruni and Jamie, of course, together. And again, we are here today just to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is the best ball playoffs. Week 16, best ball semifinals. Steve, how are you doing? A lot to get into tonight, but how are you doing? Can't wait to talk about our teams together, but how are you doing? And how are you feeling about week 16?
Doing good. Obviously, week 15 didn't go as well as we hoped, but it's going to be a brutal week for a lot of people, and still got teams through in both Underdog and DraftKings, and of course have things like Sprint. You still have Marathon to root on, so we still have a lot to look forward to, and hope these last 2 weeks break our way a little bit better.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, it felt like a bloodbath week 15. And, let's be honest, every year, we draft all summer, but people always talk about it as one slate, essentially. Yeah. And now it's like, obviously 3 different slates through playoffs here, but it was a bad week 15 slate. It was a bloodbath for us. And it is for a lot of people. It's really, best ball playoffs are really, really hard. And we'll have conversations after the season, right after the season, we'll jump into what went right, what went wrong, what we want to improve our process, where were we made good player stands, where everybody has good and bad player stands. I still think we were more right than we were wrong, but sure, there's going to be where were we wrong on players, where were we right, how can we improve our process? Also contest selection, right? I mean, I leaned into that big time this year. Unfortunately, I've always leaned into, last year and this year leaned into like the better advanced rank contests, and those don't happen to be the ones that are moving on for me, but that's okay. It's like you dance with who, brought you, basically. Right. Yeah. And so, that's got to be what it is from here on out. But, I personally think next year I'm going to lean heavier into like sprint, marathon, superflex, which we'll get to in a minute. Because that's what we have a couple sibling showdown teams for, because I think we, leaned into it the right way this year and everything. And hopefully that bears out to having a little final sweat together. But no, I think we're going to talk a lot of course, like looking back before we look forward and before the big board starts. We'll of course also have playoff best ball content on here, late December, early in January, before playoffs start, we'll have playoff best ball content. And then again, that January period, we will talk about what went right, what went wrong, what we want to change. But for today, yeah, it was a bad week 15 for both Steve and I. You can't really sugarcoat any other way. And yeah, if you're coming into chat, tell us how your week 15 went. Tell us how you're feeling week 16. We've got a great Discord that we've been chatting about. And it's good to talk with other people going through the exact same thing, that understand the exact same thing, right, Steve? Because not many people understand that if you don't play it, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean, best ball is just a different animal, different than DFS, different than everything. And it's, you always have to make the best. Like we preach things like contest selection and advance rates, and our advance rates are above average, not where we were hoping for. And our contest selection was, what we prioritize. But like you said, like that's not a lot of what we got through, bore that out. But it's like you still have to make do with what you get through and what hits. And that's also why, volume and diversifying your portfolio, those things are key as well. Because, the end of the day, what ended up working in week 15 was for as much as running backs dominating throughout the year, it was early receivers. I mean, first round receivers were 2 touchdown kings in this past, or Puka just getting like 84 targets. And so you had these first round receivers really pop off, versus a lot of first round running backs who many either were just average like CMC or just failed outright like Gibbs, who was one of the
Oh my
darlings
God,
all
I know.
year.
Right. No, so true. And I think, again, we will spend basically the whole month of January before Big Board launches talking about all the things we want to do better and differently and contest selection. And that's why I think I will do more marathon and sprint next year. And hopefully Underdog still does it, because it's not just that 1 week boom, okay, I was right on X, Y, and Z, but then you're just like, whatever. And that's not me being bitter about pod. Like, I know the game we're playing. We all know the game we're playing. It's a hard game, but it's a fun game. It's a fun game. And if you're in this chat, if you're watching this show, you love best ball as much as we do. Again, this Fanspeak network, best ball is the biggest thing. Of course, if you're just coming in, we do cover it all. We cover during the season, underdog dailies, DFS, sports betting, NFL bets, and then all off season. And then now, of course, we're covering best ball sweats. But then, of course, all off season, we are covering best ball content. And so, that's why this show last week, previewing the playoffs, and this show and next week is important to talk about the sweats of it, because it is real. It is tough. And having like-minded people like you all to talk about in Discord here helps. By the way, if you're coming in, hit that like button. We certainly appreciate it. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to YouTube. There's a bunch of people chatting that I will bring up in 1 minute. We appreciate you guys joining us here on the YouTube streets. Appreciate your chat. Yeah, tell us about your best ball teams. We'll get to it. We'll talk about it all. That is what this show is for. And then, of course, if for some reason you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to Fanspeak Network. And if you are not subscribed to the Substack, link below in the description, be sure to subscribe, because it's only $34.99 for the year. That's covering all the rankings, all the best ball content, all off season, then all the in-season content, which I just sent Steve's Underdog daily rankings. It's pretty much, you get something from us every single day. $34.99 seems like a good deal. Check out link in the description. Okay, now we'll get to the good stuff. Well, first, let me hit up chat, because we sincerely appreciate everybody in here. We've got our guy, Mike Robb, double the Fanspeak tonight. 3 of my four favorite podcasts streaming on the channel. Absolutely love it. We got, Bruni's in here, I see somewhere, but we got Underdog Live, I believe, still at 9:30 tonight. And then tomorrow, Degen Power Hour. Friday, hopefully we'll still be able to get back to Prop Party. And then, of course, Degen Dads. We got I'm Your Huckleberry. I was in one of my pods. I'm Your Huckleberry finished first. So whichever one that was, congratulations. I love that. Huckleberry. Doesn't anyone play for blood anymore? I mean, we definitely play for blood, but as long as you're not in our pod, we're rooting you on. If you're in our Discord, if you're in our Substack, if you're here in the Fanspeak Network chat, we are rooting you on, as long as we're not in the same pod, which I was, again, with Huckleberry, and he dusted everybody and finished first. I forget which one that was, but congrats on that one, and any others you moved on, Huckleberry. We got the author of that song, Jamie, in here. Love to see it. We got Steve McDevitt in here. Love how every game means something in best ball. Thursday can't come soon enough. Couldn't say it better. It's like, that's why best ball sweats are the most intense sweat. Not only does every game mean everything, every play means something, right, Steve? I mean, you and I, we'll get to it on advancing. You and I advanced a sibling showdown puppy superflex by 0.58. It was a last catch to Fryermuth that pushed us through. Like, it's not only is it every week, every game, it is every play. Yeah. Talk about game of inches, game of, very small points. And
to like Steven's point, like, and that ended up being the last game, but it also, something like that could have happened on Thursday night. Like, at least one of my teams, advanced because of Chris Godwin catching that 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
And it's like getting that octopus is huge. Or, just something here or there where it early on maybe looks like it's going one way, and you think, oh, that guy, he's not going to end up counting for me, but he ends up being, still a guy you needed. Yeah.
And of course, the reverse of that. I mean, as you and I talk about this all the time, like the sliding doors of life is very hard, of course, in sports, but in sports betting or best ball or DFS, like the sliding doors of things. I mean, let's just say it. If Cam Scatterby was there, he would have had Tyrone Tracy score or more. And that you and I were tilting the hell out of that, since we were such Scatterby bulls. But there was a play where Tracy punched it in, we needed Slayton. Had Tracy not punched it in, Slayton punched it in. It's like, that's a big sliding door for you and I personally, because we faded Tracy. Had Scattaboo been in there, he would have fricking smashed. So I'm tilting the Scattaboo stuff even harder because I knew what the week 15 matchup against our stinky Washington defense was going to be. And oh my God, that was so tilting.
Yeah,
and then
Slayton dropped that touchdown. And
was that what it was? He dropped a touchdown and then Tracy scored on the next one. So if Tracy if Slayton catches that touchdown, Tracy doesn't score on that drive. That's like a huge, not just swinging door, but swing in general for us. I don't know exactly how many more.
I know for a fact I would have gotten a Dalmatian through. So
shit. God, this is the kind of stuff. This is what I'm talking about. This is why, if you like Steve and like everybody in here, Jamie, Hames, Paul, DJ Quill, we got our guy Broody in here, of course, Coolers. We'll get to all these comments in a minute and then get into it even more. But we're all best ball diehards, so we're all hanging on every play, and it's those kind of sliding doors that's like, oh my God! And for the Tyrone Tracy people, I hate you because I love Scattaboo, but no, for the Tyrone Tracy people, worked great for you, but for the Slayton people and Scattaboo Bulls like that was Tilt City. But great comment, Steve. Couldn't agree more. We got our guy Hames in here. What is going on, Hames? Hames, and I see Coolers is in here. I mean, they have just been crushing the daily streets. So congrats to them. They are just crushing week after week after week in the daily streets. And a big shout out to in our Discord. We had a huge winner in DFS. Steve, help me pull that. Let me find that. I want to get. Do you remember the?
It was.
It was Gamblestein.
But yeah,
I was going to pull up what it was. Gamblestein, who's in our chat a lot, who's chatting it up in our Discord. Just posed a casual. Boom! Hit a $30,000. Shipped a DFS FanDuel, I believe 4 p.m. only, correct? That's what I was trying to look up.
4 p.m.
Shipped a 4 p.m. only FanDuel DFS contest, $30K. He said he gave us some credit, Steve's article on Saturday. So shout out to Gamblestein, massive DFS takeout. Shout out to Hames and Coolers crushing it in the Underdog Daily Streets. We got our guy Paul, who we've been chatting a lot in Discord. We're not dead yet. We're almost just mostly dead. Exactly. That is what it feels like. DJ Quill, what is going on? Good evening, good people. Good evening to you as well. Hames said, I hedged by the best ball portfolio in dailies and did well in dailies. So there's that. You've been crushing dailies, Hames, you and Coolers. Yeah. So, I mean, just tell us who to draft tomorrow and I'll just listen to you too. We got Justin. I know this is our guy, Bruni. Dear God, let me make finals. I referred Justin he focuses on those, the biggies, the flagships. He does big board. He does BBM. He's got, I believe, two BBM, one big board. Justin, I am rooting for you to make the finals, my friend. How bad is it? My Herzig salary is drop to 2,000. That's hysterical. Zero. We got zero in here. It is the best time of the season. Absolutely. And again, for Steve and I personally, hope week 16 and hopefully 17 goes a lot better than week 15. But you are right. It is the best time of the season. I always get sad this time of year, Steve. You know this as my brother. I don't want football season to be over. I would literally rather watch, Browns Jets than watch any other sport. But I just try to enjoy. I think we've had an amazing, and by the way, total aside, I think this 2025 season has been one of the most fun seasons as far as just entertainment value, just I don't know, just a lot of fun primetime games. I just think it's been a really fun season. But what I think I love the most, and no offense to Hames, I'm very sorry for Patrick Mahomes' injury. It's just fun to have parity, right? I mean, this season this is the first AFC. This will be the first time in 20 years that you won't have Brady, Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, and that is official. And that's crazy, but it's kind of like it's nice to have some parity. It's nice to have some differences, and there won't be Mahomes, Burrow, and possibly Lamar in this AFC playoffs, and that's wild. But for just diehard NFL fans, I think this has been a very entertaining season. I think this is going to be a really fun playoffs because I really don't think it's I know even the Rams, sure. Do I think they're the best chance to make the Super Bowl from the NFC? Of course, but I wouldn't call it a guarantee. And so I think that's what's going to make best ball playoffs fun. I was chatting with someone on Twitter. Forgive me if I can't remember his handle, but he had shipped Mitten Returns last year. And I was like, he had a rough with week 15. I was like, well, it looks like you have a lot to look forward to. And he's like, I might just wait to the returns because I have no idea who's getting out of the wild card round. And I get that. I would not be surprised if 2 wild card teams make the Super Bowl. That's how crazy I think this year is. But I think that makes the playoffs super, super fun. So hopefully good content. But yes, Zero, best time of the year for sure. We got coolers in here. Again, is just crushing the daily streets too. The key is to have so many plates spinning you can't keep track. That is definitely you and Steve for sure. That is definitely you and
But
Steve.
now we have no more excuse because now it's down. And for me, it's like 30 some teams plus some sprint. And so it's like now I have to be like, okay, I know every team now.
Right. Now you know the teams. And we'll talk about that as far as sweating week 16. Very different. Zero likes, must be a Washington fan, likes the shirt, Steve. Who aims still has 33% Scadaboo 11. I know, like what I pushed through with Scadaboo was wild. And still on like some sprint teams, marathon. I don't think he's on the 3 of mine. And we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, it's so crazy. It's like I'm still coping. That's all I'll say. But so crazy who aims. We got King Schuster in here. What is going on? Wish I maxed the puppy Superflex. I wish I did too, because we're moving on 2 together, Sibling Showdown. So you may see some more Superflex content even more. I feel like we tried to lean into each contest, Steve, like all the different dog breeds, a couple, some BBM, but less of that. I think we tried to do sprint. We tried to do a lot of sprint and marathon too, but we did Superflex when it was out, but my God, we might do because they are in just like spurts, we might do like daily Superflex shows because that is what we were sweating now. Crazy odds, obviously. But if I take down the BBM, this is from Bruni, the chat gets $5,000, 5 1K winners. Look at Bruni, freaking man of the people. Steve and I don't have any BBMs left, so I don't know that I can offer that. But if any Fanspeak, has some big winnings, yes, I think that we will pay it forward to the chat somehow, some way. And Bruni says 10K if we have 1K followers by the end of the contest. Look at Bruni. I mean, absolutely man of the people. So everybody in chat, root on Bruni to make the finals. Take down the BBM. So that he's apparently going to give it back. And again, if Steve and I have a big takedown, we will definitely give it back too. But look at him putting out this numbers. We love you, Bruni. That's freaking awesome. Jamie got eliminated from Big Board, but got like $10 back from it. We got our guy Hulk Mashed Potatoes in here. What is going on? How many TDs has Slayton dropped this year? It has been it does feel like too many. Who aims this 3?
It's at least 3. It's probably more like 4 or 5. It's been brutal. And then he got injured and missed a lot of time.
King Schuster says he has to estimate. Yeah, the pre-draft stuff, it's wild what you push through pre-draft.
Yeah. Well, because Neal's out, and if Kamara's out, Estime's probably their running back.
Yeah.
The Saints.
Right. So wow, that's crazy.
That could be crazy.
So Bruni, we won't hold this against you. We love you. Yes, Gamblestein is the man, just taking down stuff. Yes, cool. It was the Husky. And it was a Husky team that I freaking love too for myself. And just everybody did it. I think I finished in last. But yeah, Huckleberry took down a Husky, has Lawrence and ETN. That's awesome. And I'm rooting for you to just keep rocking it in the Husky too. So Mike says, Meg, I think if we get you drafting best ball for NBA and MLB, you can get into it. I don't think so. Steve tried to help me with an MLB best ball. I think I finished. I don't know. I wasn't even close. So I'll do like 1 or 2 a year. I don't think so, Mike. I don't think I get into golf. I do try to dabble with golf, but I've never had success. I heard Candyman has had a ton of success in best ball golf. And shout out to him. I have not figured out. I don't think I've ever had success in really any other sport in any form. Occasionally, like a silly bet or something like that. But a long time ago, I think I won like 1,000 on an NBA DFS, but it's been a while. Huhim says Mahomes has been throwing Rice hospital balls and sent him to the hospital this year. Yeah. Wild that he got the surgery one day later. Zero says, my favorite part is the Pitt diehards fans finally faded him this year. And this is your first year drafting. Well, hopefully that means you got some fun semifinal teams, Zero. And then, of course, Mike Robb, the diehard the die-hard Ravens fan. He's always catching strays from the Fanspeak team. What was it? Andrew posted a futures bet with Steelers winning the AFC North, and Mike Robb was tilting that it was a pre-draft. He was like, I thought we were like sweating this out together as Washington Ravens fans not making the playoffs. You did this I did too, actually, Mike. I had done one, but it's not going to get home with the Steelers AFC North. But he does get too much Ravens hate from the Fanspeak team. But you know we love you, Mike. You know we love you. Zero's a Packers fan, but Steve needs to put the headset on. DQ is a joke. Wait, who's DQ?
Dan Quinn.
Oh, Dan Quinn. Oh, God. Okay, he's a Packers fan, but okay, got it. So yeah, who Hames LeQuinn? I think I had a LeQuinn Allen on a big board team that I thought was going to make it, and it did not. Let's see. The Damian Martinez. Wait, you may know. I got some weird notifications from StreamYard. Hopefully that's good. Yeah, drop in what you're sweating this week. Hulk mashed potatoes. 2 in big board, 1 post draft. Oh, for the Damian Martinez. Yeah. That's right. DJ Quill says all UD teams are done, but still 3 DK teams and 2 in the top 30 on Drafters Mini. Congrats. Nice. That's awesome. The sweat is alive then. That's all that matters. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's Drafters, DK, Underdog, the sweat is alive, and that's all it matters. Pitt is the man. He got my Bucky Kyron Burrow team through, nice. And it's the only Bucky Kyron Burrow team left in BBM. All right.
That's fun.
Wow. That is, and then we're going to talk about some low owned. Obviously, like Burrow now in BBM semis has got to be like, so that's got to be awesome. Yeah. And I hope T Higgins plays too. Who Hames, sweating T Higgins playing, have 33% of my teams with him. That's awesome. Who Hames. Yeah, very, very cool. I'm hoping he practiced today, I believe. So, so hopefully that's a good sign. Now another week removed. So we are sweating hopefully T Higgins playing as well. Okay. So we caught up with chat, and again, keep dropping in like what you're rooting for, who could be low owned, all that stuff. We'll keep getting to it. Again, week 15 was pretty terrible for us, and there's some pretty terrible swings. Like we mentioned, that Slate and Tracy thing is just one example. But now let's talk good news. So we're heading to the semifinals, and for me, I probably, of all content creators for basketball, I have to think I'm the lowest. I only advanced 6% of my playoff teams. I think with rookie sophomores, I had like 60 some teams, and I'm only moving on 3. So it was freaking brutal. Had a couple other sweats that, second, third places that I felt like had a chance, but didn't get there on Sunday night, Monday night. Obviously, we know I was very, very exposed to Dallas stacks, and the Dallas, Sunday night game couldn't have gone worse for me. I mean, Dak did not throw a touchdown, correct? Yeah. So that literally couldn't have gone worse for me on the run out of not just Pickens, but Ferguson, Dak, awful. So kind of any sweats I thought I may have kind of died then, and would have needed some Adam Thielen miracles. And that didn't happen, but so it was a really, really low advance rate. So for me, I am moving on 3 teams, but here's the good news. So I'm going to try to, Steve knows this is not my nature. Definitely have a lot of German negativity in this for me, but I am going to try to be glass half full. So here's the good news for me. 3 semifinals teams I have, and guess what? They are all sibling showdown live streams. 1 puppy, 2 puppy Superflex. Steve and I lean more into Superflex. We got Who Hames in chat, who has been the Superflex man too. And so Steve and him would do some Superflex shows. Steve and I did Superflex shows. We'll pull it over in a minute, but Steve and I have 2 Superflex sibling showdown puppies, and then 1 puppy. So 3 sibling showdowns together. If I'm going to have a low advance rate to playoffs, at least I'm moving on with my brother. I would just love for us to have a final sweat. Steve, tell us what you think about that as I bring over our teams.
Yeah, no, it was exciting to get 3 of those teams through to the semifinals. Would obviously love to get 1 or more into the finals, because those are fun to do together. Yeah. As many commenters know, we disagree at times. We have, you might have a few facial expressions with exasperating when I, tell you to draft MVS, but you know what? It also gets you through a team.
MVS was part of the reason we moved on one of the Superflex teams. Wild stuff.
But and it is fun. I did not have as great as a run out in Superflex. I dove a couple through, but I'm glad, we got more through, because I do like the format.
Love the format.
And it'll be interesting to see if we can get some through to the finals.
Yeah. You still have a couple, don't you have Puppy?
I have 2 as well.
Okay. So, well, you have 4 because we have 2. So you have a puppy and a German Shepherd Superflex, and we have 2 puppies together. So let's look at them. So done both in June, obviously, because the puppy Superflex was open for that like month. Basically, wasn't it pretty much open most of June?
I think it came out like May 30th and closed like July 4th.
Yeah, so it was open like a little over a month. Remember, everybody was like complaining about it. It's like, who cares? It's not preventing Underdog from, and we love Brett and all the Underdog draft team. They're freaking amazing. And, Superflex does not prevent them from opening other stuff. So people were like tilting their face off. I hope they do more Superflex this year. And it's not just because Steve and I are advancing 2 together. I honestly, after Puppy closed, I, maxed the pug and did some German Shepherd. And then it was like, didn't the Rottweiler come out like really late? Like, I was prepping for in-season stuff. So, but next year I want to lean heavier into it because I've always loved the format. So let's break it down. Obviously, because it was open the month of June, we did it 6-5 and 6-10. So this is the team, Steve. Don't recognize anybody in. This has already been pod, moved over to the semifinals pod. Do not recognize. If anybody in chat recognizes any of these names, let us know. I don't recognize any of these names.
50 cents in it, but
there you go. So this is our
documentary on us.
Superflex team, and who Hames, if he's still listening, knows that we were big on Mariota, and we would do it. Sometimes we'd handcuff it with Jaden Daniels, or we just say, you know what, we're going to tack on a 4th or 5th quarterback and pick Mariota in the last round, because I've said this all along as a Washington fan. I don't know how many entire seasons Jaden Daniels is going to play in this season. Last season, he played 15 and a half games because he basically went out the first drive in the Carolina and then went out the second half in the last Dallas game. This year, he got like 4 different injuries and he's barely played. So we drafted Marcus Mariota a lot in the last round, and he didn't count last week. Obviously, it was Baker and Lawrence that counted for us, but Baker, Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, and Mariota are 4 quarterbacks. Gibbs, Jacobs, Pollard, of course, Scattaboo, our sweet, sweet chaperone, Tyler Algier, Jerome Ford, and then we got to get an update. I hope Marv could come back this week, TBD. But remember, you only need to start 2 receivers if you're building for the running back to hit the flex. So Marv, DK Metcalf, Chris Olave, Trey Harris, Jaden Higgins, Kyle Williams, and Steve's guy, MVS. And this is why he and Freiermuth and DK's touchdown. This team obviously pushed ahead on Monday night with DK and MVS touchdown. And then it was Freiermuth's last catch that put us through. Why? I mean, wild sweat Monday night. So, and then Freiermuth, K-Dot, and Jawan Johnson. So what do you think of this team? Chat, tell us what you think of this team. I actually, of the 2 Superflex teams, like this team the best. And they're playing the Lions this week. So the fact that we have Gibbs and then an Aaron Rodgers triple stack. Which we didn't know was a triple stack at the time we drafted. I think that's really fun. The other quarterbacks do have Lawrence has a pretty difficult matchup, obviously, against Broncos, Mariota against the Eagles, but Mariota loses his legs, so you never know. And then Baker against the Saints in a must win. I mean, the NFC South is against the Saints, right?
No, Carolina.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
Must win against Carolina, because it's like, who is going to win this thing? Tell me what you think about this team. I know you like it, but tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, look, having 4 healthy starting quarterbacks right now is not easy to do, and we'll see that in the next one we do. But it's running back is unfortunately thinner with the Scattaboo thing. Not sure on Jacobs, that is a little worrisome, but Tony Pollard has had his 2 best weeks back to back. Maybe Algier, Ford is out also, so it's only 4 running backs left. And so we might need an extra receiver, but we did get some good news with Marvin Harrison practicing today. I think
he did. Okay, thank you. I've had a wild day.
Maybe practice today also, so maybe we're a little healthier there as well. I think our receivers are generally fine. Even some of those, we took vets and then rookies. And Jaden Higgins has a really good matchup. He's been playing more. Trey Harris, if QJ doesn't go again, he's live. Hopefully it's not KLS with the touchdown this week.
Oh,
And
that
Kyle
was
Williams, we've
okay.
seen just pop in for some touchdowns. So, maybe it'll be enough. We're probably going to need at least one like really good score from like DK or Olave.
Yeah.
Or Marv if he plays, but at least all those guys are like nobody's definitely out. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
outside a couple of the running backs, Scatterboo and Ford, but
Right.
it's not like we're dealing with a lot of like definite outs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I really, really like this team. I love that there's like Gibbs Steelers stack, like, with that game.
Yeah.
I do think that could be a good game environment. Steelers like to be conservative. You ain't going to be able to be conservative against Detroit in Detroit. So yeah, I like this team a lot, and I'm really, really rooting this team on. Again, I won a finals team with my brother, a sibling showdown team, and this team I'm a big fan. I went through, unfortunately, there's, it looks like we're up against some good competition. I don't see a lot of like any dead teams, with like, dead. Well, Tua got benched. This one, okay, this one is one where Tua, Russ Wilson, it's just Dart and Shador. So that, but it, definitely has like Chase and Puka, and they did the kind of the opposite of what we did. We focused on, let's load up on quarterback and running back. Only 2 receivers need to hit the flex. So hopefully our strategy bears out here. Clicks. I mean, this one I did some 5 quarterback builds too, a lot with some backups. So, there's definitely some, I mean, this guy has 3 if Gino's back. And I did this a lot too in Superflex. He did Penix Cousins. I did a lot of like handcuffing. I know who Hames knows that from drafting and talking with us here. So 1 of 8, right? Move on. 1 of 8 or 1 of 10.
I think it's 1 of 10.
Yeah, I believe 1 of 10. Move on. So yeah, but no, there's definitely. I mean, Bijan, McCaffrey lineup here. There's definitely some stiff competition in the pod, but I do hope that our team can move on. Okay, let's go to the other one. 6'10". Again, this was the time to draft the puppy Superflex. And this one is Josh Allen Jr. with Drake May, who faced off last week. Obviously, Josh Allen playing the Browns this week. May plays the Ravens on Sunday night. And then do we know any update if Fields or Taylor are playing?
It's going to be Brady Cook.
It's definite?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're both out again? What was Tyrod Taylor's injury?
I can't remember.
But he's definitely out. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks because we handcuffed the room because we were like, Fields doesn't play many whole seasons either.
That worked. I mean, we actually got some usable weeks from Tyrod.
No, it totally worked for advancement. We got some usable weeks, and then Allen, May playing each other. Boy, I just had an aside, when that Patriots game started and May had 2 rushing touchdowns, and I had like 40 or 50% May in my in 60 plus, because I had him in rookie sophomore. I had like 50% May in my playoff teams. I was like, here we go. This is going to be awesome. I'm just, smooth path to semis. And then that was it for him. That was rough. But yeah, Allen May is still fun. Jacobs, hope he plays. I assume he didn't practice today.
He didn't. Tomorrow's going to be the key day.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nervous because we have Jacobs in both these. But James Cook, Kamara, I don't know if he'll play.
He didn't practice, but again, tomorrow's the key day.
Yeah. Pollard in this one, Rashad White, of course, Braylon Allen. I drafted a lot, and that hurt in multiple ways, or in multiple formats. JMO, fun receiver room, JMO, Godwin, Diggs, and then Goldenberg and Slayton.
Hopefully Burton plays.
Wait, oh my God, we had MVS on both these teams. I didn't even realize that. Hunter Henry, K-Dot, and Juwan Johnson. So yeah, I definitely like the other team better. But again, you dance with who brought you, and whoever wants to hopefully bring us through to finals, I would love it. Obviously I love the quarterbacks in this one, but it just feels like the running back room could be thin. But like you said, we'll have to wait and see on Jacobs Kamara. Any other thoughts on this team?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely more injuries. Like it was a Burden injury that we're eyeing up and stuff like that. So it's maybe a little thinner, but obviously we do have 2 of the top quarterbacks in Allen and May. So if those guys go off and our quarterbacks 1-2 in the week, that could carry you. Because I don't know how many of those teams got through. For your point, like May didn't end up with a great week last week.
Yeah, he was one of the, there was a bunch of guys in the low 20s, and he was.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. I didn't look at this pod, but I'm just guessing there's not a ton of May through.
Right. So yeah, are they just, to Mike's point, are they just saying they're not going back to Fields at all?
I kind of think so. Yeah.
So it's not like he's still injured. It's just they're not
He
going back.
might be. He was dealing with something, but
Yeah.
I just think they're like we're so done right now.
We're so done with you. So yeah, obviously like the first one better, but those are the sibling showdown super flex teams that we are rooting on. I don't think that's sprint. Yeah, we'll talk about sprint in a minute here. We have the puppy sibling showdown. Also drafted in May because that's when the big puppy was open. Do we recognize anybody in here? No. Pano. Oh my God.
Actually,
Steve.
yeah.
Holy shit.
I'll message him.
I don't tell the background, but he was in a lot of our chats early in the off season drafting with us, but grew up with him. You tell
yeah. I've known him since T-ball, and we went to elementary and middle and high school together, and
you were good friends in like elementary
school. He moved away and lost touch with him a bit, but then through fantasy the last couple of years gotten back more in touch, and so I'll have to message him. I didn't realize.
Holy shit. Wow, he's got Goff, Herbert, Dart. I like that. Gibbs, Harvey, Aaron Jones, Etienne, Wright, Ladd, Rice, JMO, Jerry, Judy, Mbuka, Quinn Johnson, Slayton, Goddard. Obviously that was a big one. He had Goddard and Pitts. Holy shit. Wow. So love Pano's team. I don't know that I love our team, but obviously Lawrence helped push us through. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Sam Darnold, Gibbs, Henry, Pollard. I think that's fun. Rashad White, Braylon Allen, Devontae Adams looking doubtful. I think someone put that in chat for Thursday. JMO, Juwan Jennings, Luther Burden, Besh, Pierce. Look, MVS on all three of our teams, Steve. MVS on all three of our teams. Who put that in chat? Somebody put that earlier. Mike Robb, of course. As Steve would draft MVS and Lockett in every draft, I would say on the show, come on, Steve, we're trying to run a business. Don't embarrass us.
So MVS, you're welcome.
MVS on all three of our sibling showdown teams. Now, in fairness, we were already advancing this one without MVS. I think we were already advancing the other one because I was obviously watching the whole, Sunday night, Monday. But MVS is the reason we advanced the one that I like the most out of these three teams. So yes, Steve, I am sorry for saying this to you all summer long. And yes, Steve says you are welcome. That's absolutely hysterical. So, but then we, have George Kittle, which is nice. George Kittle and Loveland on this one. Mm-hmm. So those are three sibling showdown teams. Steve, did you want to just, do you want to bring up BBMD? Let me catch up with chat. And then do you want to bring up BBMD to talk about what you're my underdog? Talk about what you are sweating. Let me catch up with chat because there's some good ones in there for sure. Yeah, we talked about T. Higgins, who says, do have Puka, Tutu, Stafford alive in the Poodle. Probably the most fun low-owned thing. That is fun. And then Zero says 2 long TDs for Tutu. And I knew it was like an outside chance for Devontae, but I know someone said it was looking doubtful. Okay. Who aims MVS carried a team for him into the semis. Look at that, Steve. Look at that. Naylor almost knocked out on 193-point puppy. That was crazy. Steve, we should somehow like print a sign of this. We're trying to run a business, Steve, and then MVS. Could you imagine if MVS takes us to the finals too?
That'd be amazing.
Yes, I am the Shoup handle. I do. I agree with you. Zero. And we saw, 2 weeks ago with Baltimore, like they were a little conservative this week. But we saw how, the running game is just not consistently good. And, you can definitely attack Detroit in the air. So I kind of like the spot Rodgers is in, and I hope it's a big Rodgers, Metcalf, Freiermuth, MVS week. And Metcalf could be, was that not the most like fun? That was one of I think he did win angry runs. I've been so busy this week, but I saw I love Kyle Brandt. I saw a tweet of it. I think he won the angry runs when he just like caught that ball, like it barely got in there. He threw off, shedded 2 guys, just threw them off. It was awesome. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. This season's had so many fun, so many fun games, but so many fun like plays like that. That was such an awesome play. And obviously it was awesome for me personally, because I needed Metcalf in multiple things. I had the Gainwell hammer. Okay. Yeah. It was King Schuster said has just been ruled doubtful for Thursday, which not surprising. Olave in a good spot this week against Tampa Bay. That's absolutely true. Zero. Gino is back. Best ball on call. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. My only advancing BBM is from May 2nd Fanspeak stream. That I love it. Well, we're rooting you on BBOC. Absolutely. That's awesome. That was during a Fanspeak stream May 2nd. So cool. Moving Bowers down the ranks. Yeah, we were never high on the elite tight ends. Obviously, we're right on Bowers, not right on McBride. So I know you had more McBride than me, but I kind of had the 2 to 4% exposure blanket because I'm just a mid to late round tight end girl, and we'll see how that. Obviously, some early and mid ones smash this week. I love the mid rounds, but we'll see what the next 2 weeks bring with that. Yeah, the Jets QB's team was not awesome. Go back to that pod. I think that was during the Superflex. Okay. He thought it was Aaron Sandy in that pod. Got it. Okay. We got Paul in there again. We've been chatting it up in Discord. So join the Substack link in the description, then come over, join us on Discord. If for some reason Discord link isn't working, ping me on Twitter. I'll make sure to get you in because it's fun chatting with people, especially now during this sweat time. Got MVS and Scataboo on my last BBM bullet, sharing that pod with Go AZ Cards. May the best Patriots fan win. Oh, I love it. Well, love both Paul and Go AZ Cards. But Steve, I just say it every time I see Scataboo's name in one of my teams, in somebody else's team like this. It's like, what could have been? I mean, what could have been for marathon, for sprint, for advance rate, for playoffs? We saw what Tracy did. Oh, it's so hard. Okay. Your Huckleberry says, I'm a huge Bo Nix fan this week. Obviously that's where I think that was in his Husky team. I'm pretty sure.
I thought you said that Trevor Lawrence, but
oh, okay. Who says just clip, we're trying to run the business for the end of your intro. That is true. We should just end it with, we're trying to run a business, Steve, after I berate you. By the way, there was the stream we did. I know the Toxic Tower, who I believe is live at 8 tonight, had a wagon of a Husky team, but similar to one of my Husky team, a couple of my Husky teams that just pooped the bed this week. I don't believe they made the semifinals with that team, but it was an amazing team.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and watched our stream and we co-streamed it unintentionally. We just happened to be on at the same time. I think they were going it was one of their last ones. It was one of our first ones. It happened to be unintentional co-stream, and they were in first the entire year. It was an amazing team. There was a point where you wanted to take James Cook, and I just berated you. I mean, I berated you. I think I did we're trying to run a business. This is embarrassing. I think I also said over my cold dead body, this is embarrassing. Let's see. I mean, I'm just throwing myself under the bus because I watched back. I was laughing out loud. I think I said, why do you want, I think because I wanted Walker, which obviously that's bear out to be a bad decision. I said, why do you want James Cook so much? And you're like, because he's the top running back on one of the best offenses in the league. And I was like, I just was berating you. So if their team made the finals, I was definitely going to clip that. But I think just clipping. So I just threw myself under the bus. It was hysterical. Go back to one of those Husky drafts, watch that. It was embarrassing. It wasn't a good look for me, but it was funny. But we do need a clip. We're just running the business for the end of the show. I like that. If MVS or Lockett win you anything, you need to put that on a polo, Steve. They weren't pushed this week. That's the Steelers can be so conservative when they're not pushed, but they're going to get pushed this week, and that's what I like about that. And then I didn't know
Jalen Warren just can't run the football. I mean, he averaged 2.5 yards a carry again when Gainwell averaged 6 yards a carry.
Yeah.
They just need to stop with Jalen Warren stuff.
Yeah. We got Crossface in here. What is going on? Good luck to you in the rest of semifinals. Let us know what you're sweating in semis. Huhaim's also a big Bo fan this week. The McBride faders were right until Kyler went down. That is true, Hulk. In the beginning of the season, I was like, yep. I mean, up until mid-season, it was everything I believed in about, and I still honestly, truly to my core, am always going to lean more into the mid to late round tight ends, but that's what you wanted, right? I mean, it was just Ferguson, Kraft, Warren, all those mid round tight ends were dominating, and some late ones, quite honestly. And then it's just been since Brissett took over, he's become peak Gronk.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Brissett turned Michael Wilson into what Marv was supposed to be, and McBride, paid off thanks to. But yeah, with Kyler, it was right, and that was part of my thesis too. But that's what you never know, when trades
Yeah, but
happen and when
it was just one of
injuries
those,
happen.
like, everyone else got hurt. The running backs got hurt, so they were no longer a balanced team. Kyler got hurt, so he's not scrambling. So it's just funneling more and more passes, and then Marv gets hurt, and McBride, it just he's the one healthy
He's
guy
the
all
last
year on the
man
Cardinals.
standing.
And
Yeah.
I think Brissett's a better passer as well, but everything else just kept funneling to more and more passing, and it just kept going to McBride. So yeah, just absolutely wild.
Okay, so Huckleberry has Knicks in a Dalmatian and BBM. That's awesome.
Nice.
We are rooting for you. I think people are entertained by me. Uh, oh yeah, Coolers is right. I always be like, show the board, Steve. He's old. I mean, my berated Steve. Mike says Meg braiding Steve was 40% of the summer's drafts. My man was built for it. Oh my God. Oh, you did some Jalen Warren slander
Well, it didn't help him. Like, that's the point. He needed 10
that's his
points.
point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Paul's feeling the pain. You opened up the wound, Steve. But yeah, I mean, that's true. He needed Warren to come through and he didn't. He's popped on like really good matchups, like against the Bengals. And there was like two other, I think there's 4 games where he's had like 7 or 8 yards per carry, but the rest of them have been like 2.5 yards per carry or less. So yeah. We should do, like, in January when, things settle down a little bit. We should see if Bruni wants to do some kind of clip thing of just some of our ridiculous, the good, the bad, and the ugly kind of, that would just be absolutely so fun. The Jonnu handoff was tilting.
Oh my God.
The hell out of me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because we had a Aaron Rodgers prop he missed by 1 yard.
Yes. Yeah. So we had, because we hit a parlay on Sunday that we put in Substack, put in Discord, and it was the Washington Giants parlay. And so that was fun. And, Monday night we're sweating out best ball. I was like, oh my God, Steve, we're going to hit our Substack parlay. We just need 1 more yard because we did Warren under, Gainwell receiving, like 25 receiving, Rodgers 225. I really thought the Dolphins would push a little. I did think Steelers would win the whole 2 in the cold stuff. I did think the Steelers would win, but I thought they'd be pushed a little. So I was like, I think Rodgers should throw for like 240. Let's do 225, 224, 224. It was our official bet, and we missed the parlay by 1 yard. Absolutely terrible. Oh my God. He says the radio said that Warren scored when Jonnu scored. And here's the sliding doors. The Jonnu TD kills Paul because he needed 10 points from Warren, and then helps Suhaim. So I
think it helped me push a couple teams through because I had some Warren teams chasing me.
Yeah. And that's the wild stuff. That's best ball, right?
Yep.
So, all right, Steve, break down what you are sweating for week 16.
So I'll look at my my underdog stuff. I did get 6 DraftKings teams through, including 3 of the millionaire maker.
Nice.
So hopefully I get 1 into the finals. But
are there any of those 3 teams? I know you have underdog up down, but are there any of those 3 teams that you love more than the other?
All of them are a little injured. They all
do they all have Scatterboo on it?
I think 2 of my 6 do. I can't remember. I know 1 was a millionaire maker, but I don't know if the other one was. First, I'll look at the sprint because I have 29 teams through, and I'll show my teams. I do have 3 in the top 1,000 after week 1. Again, this is a 3-week thing. 349, 694, and 989. So not the greatest run out, but this team and
no, as you're refreshing, I looked at some of your top sprint teams, and I like it. And again, that's what people need to keep in mind. Like, it's a 3-week, it's a 3-week sprint. Like, you can, for your teams that had like a total dud week, it's probably going to be tough to get something fun. But even if it's just like an average week, or like some of these top teams, like a good but not great or amazing week, okay, maybe you're not getting first, but you can still have a fun sweat. And at the end of the day, we want 2 things as best ball players, right? We want to have a fun sweat week 17, and we want to profit. So at the end of the day, yes, do we all want to win 100,000, a half a million, 2 million? Yes, of course. But at the end of the day, we want to sweat, we want to profit. So I think some of these are in position. I'll let you break it down.
So this one, just Goff, Burrow, definitely worried about the Jacobs, but have Rico, Etienne, and Pacheco at running back. Receiver, Trey Tucker, Slayton, Romeo Doubs, Marvin Mims, Keon Coleman, Matthew Golden, and then the big ones, of course, J-Mo and Jamar Chase.
That's fun.
Stacked up. And then Mason Taylor's out. So this is a McBride team.
This is a McBride team, yeah.
We'll need McBride for that. I think it's this one. It's one of these next two that I like a little bit more. Yeah, I think it's the last one then. Because just Darnold and Goff, no Fields. ETN, Cook, Chase Brown. It's all that's left. But I think that's a fun trio. MVS, Cedric Tillman, not sure if he'll be back. Sounds like Bateman will be back. Diggs, DK Metcalf, Ladd, and then this is Amon-Ra, the other side of the Detroit stack. Yeah. No Ertz. That's Ertz, such a brutal injury.
But Ferguson and Juwan Johnson.
And Juwan Johnson, I feel good about. And then this third one.
Remind me to say something about Diggs in a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, I lost Mahomes in this one, unfortunately. So this is just two quarterbacks as well. Darnold, Caleb, Cook, Bucky, Charbonnet, and Coker, who looked more. I don't know if we'll get a Dunze back. As Mike knows, I didn't take a lot of Zay Flowers, so not sure. Yeah, never mind. This is not the team. It must have been a little lower that I looked. I was looking through these earlier.
Click the next one because I know there was a couple and like it may not have been your top ones, but that's fun. Goff and Rodgers.
Goff, Rodgers, May. So I have 3 live quarterbacks. Ramondre, yes, is behind Hendo, but I have theoretically 5 healthy running backs. I know the usage for Ramondre
and Walker is Jacobs.
I'm very high on Jacobs. And then receiver wise, Jaden Reed now back. It's more Diggs, J-Mo, CD Lamb. So I got 3 guys I feel really good about, and then maybe somebody else pops. And then tight end, no Tucker Kraft, so just Hunter Henry. So it's a little thin there, but I will say I still think that might be actually my strongest of the top teams. So I'm glad I did find that one. As for the rest, I got 2 super flex teams through 1 rookie sophomore, 21 regular, and 4 pre-draft. 4 pre-draft, just 1 big board, 3 little board 2s. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, he's sneezing. While he's sneezing, I'll say Who Hames is invested in Jacobs playing too. So we'll all sweat that and root that on together. We got Tilt in here. I got Crush 2, 5 of 70, but we turn around this week. That's the kind of positive thinking we need here. Let's go. It now comes down to exactly, dance with who brought you and focus on what we got. And then we got our guy Eddie in here. It looks like we all need Jacobs this week. LFG, let's go. All right, go. Sorry, Steve. Oh, you're on mute. Unmute because you muted when you sneezed.
Thank you. 3 very live quarterbacks: Baker, May, Trevor Lawrence.
Which contest is this, Steve?
This is the big board.
Oh, big board. Nice. Oh, come on. Let's run it back.
Derrick Henry, James Cook, Travion Henderson, Rashard White, and actually Rocket Sanders, who's Cleveland's number 2 back right now. If Samson misses again. It would be wild, but Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Ricky Pearsall probably out this week, I'm guessing. I'm not sure the latest on Hollywood. And then, it's very thin at receiver.
So who are the top? Amon-Ra. Okay. So you're going to really need to rely on the top 3, basically. Yeah. Okay. But I love the top 3.
Schultz, Theo Johnson, and Kate Otten. So Kate Otten's back. That's pretty healthy as well. So that could be a fun team. Would love, obviously, to be back in the finals for the big board.
I was going to say, for those that don't know, Steve, had a great finals advance rate last year and then took down 4th in the big board. So I would love to see you at least have a big board finals sweat. I like that team overall. I mean, what's the deal on Ricky? Because he finished the game, didn't he?
Finished the game, but didn't sound good after the game. That's for sure.
And he looked so good. He popped it like we've all been dreaming of. So I'd love to see him back this week. Fun one on Monday night, too.
Unfortunately, I only got 1 rookie sophomore. Bo Nix, Drake May, great at quarterback, but running back is
the Giants.
I'm down to Tyron Tracy and Jalen Wright.
Because Tootin's out.
Braylon Allen and Skagu are out. So very thin at running back. Receiver wise, Brian Thomas, Ladd, no Ricky, maybe no Luther Burden. So very thin there as well. So
Yeah.
I doubt that makes it through. But I do love the contest and hoping next year we'll have a better run out. As for the regular, I can look at Superflex also. I did get a Chow Chow through and 2 Badge Bros, and then everything else was smaller, a bunch of puppies, an MMG. Really crushed the Pomeranian somehow. I got a total of 10 teams through.
You were locked in during the Pomeranian.
Yeah.
Let me say hi to Chad. Bring up your Chow Chow, because I mean you were sweating to get that one through. You got it through with a chain. You were leading, but you needed like a chain to guarantee that. But let me say hi as you bring that up, because we have Eddie was joining us, and he needs Mbuka, Godwin to pop this week. I know Steve and I both need Godwin, and Steve needs Evans. And when we got Emo in here, I think Emo has we'll be talking shortly at 8 p.m., 8:30 Eastern. I think Toxic Tower is going. They have a BBM sweat. I'm sure Emo has plenty of other semi teams to sweat and chat. So be sure to watch Toxic Tower, I believe 8:30 tonight. We got our guy, Stephen WC, in here. Good to see you always. Wait, which one aggravated the old injury? Was that? Shit. Yeah, I guess that is fragile. Okay. We all need Jacobs. You need a lot of Pearson. Yeah, that sucks because he looked good. But those are the type of injuries that do get re-aggravated, but that's frustrating. Go ahead, Steve. This is a Chow Chow?
Yeah, this is the Chow Chow. So Baker, Caleb, Darnold, at least 3 quarterbacks. Genty, Achane, Cook, Dowdle left. Genty, obviously, not a great matchup.
Chaperone.
Yeah. Mike Evans, Romadunze, I'd love if he comes back. Devo, Chris Godwin, Keenan Allen, good old Ray McLeod, and Alec.
You need MVS on this team.
I know. Where is MVS when I need him most? Dallas Goedert, Brendan Strange. So feel good about saying. Feel pretty good overall. Obviously need my guys to just
who were the quarterbacks now when it was Baker, Caleb, and Lawrence? Darnold. Okay, gotcha. And we will get through. We're going to talk about this, chat about, briefly, Steve already looked at sprint marathon. Then we're going to talk lone players and some week 16 matchups, because obviously that is what we are now sweating our ass off for.
So I did want to mention the Badge Rose Brawl because I talked about it during, I know like Chad Candles is big on it as well. Mm-hmm. It actually, for a $10 contest, it actually has the best advance rates to get to a 6-figure prize pool, 100K. Up top, I still have 2 teams left. It's a 1 of 6, or I'm sorry, 1 of 5 in through here.
Okay.
So just 1 of 5 for these 2 teams. Neither one is perfect, but both could be fun.
I like those scores. I mean,
yeah, the quarterbacks here, Hurts, Nix, Dak, JT, Jacobs, Cook, Tony Pollard's have 5 live backs.
Yeah.
Lamb.
Neighbors.
Yeah, neighbors. But Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, Cortland Sutton. Don't feel great about Waddle with Quinn Ewers throwing him the ball. Jaden Reed, Keon Coleman, maybe something happens there. Tight end, 2 healthy guys, Hawk and Goddard.
I know. What was the format of that? Remind me, Badge Bros Brawl. Was it kind of like you're building super teams because it was only
it's 6-person drafts, full 18 rounds, unlike the pick 6, which was like a 10-round draft, and 6-person drafts. You still full 18 rounds.
Okay.
But everything else is as normal.
Yeah.
So this one is pretty interesting as well. Allen, Mayfield, Love, really strong. This was drafted earlier, of course. Joe Mixon, that was sad, but Bijan, JT, Cook, and RJ Harvey. So I think Harvey should be good to go. Neighbors in this as well. But Nico, T. Higgins, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Adunze, hopefully he's there, Olave, Jaden Reed. So receivers are actually a little better. Unfortunately, no Tucker Kraft, so I'm just relying on Mark Andrews. But it's 1 of 5. So, Andrews doesn't have to, Andrews doesn't have to, match McBride if McBride's not in this pot. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, and that's what's so nice. I mean, and unfortunately, again, the ones I advance in are 1 of 10s. But that's what's nice about the smaller pods.
And that's why we like McBride's not in this pot at all. So he doesn't, even if McBride has like another 25-point game, it's not going to matter for the 1 of 5.
Yeah, no, that's what's so nice about those. So again, you had a total between DraftKings and Underdog. How many are you sweating in semis?
Not
30,
counting sprint, it's 34.
34, and then 3 with me. We have to, again, 3 sibling showdowns that on my account we're sweating together. And then you have a bunch of sprints, like 31 sprints. And again, keep in mind, like, just because you're not in like the top 20 doesn't mean you're donezo from having a fun prize. Again, it might
Yeah,
not be harder
no,
to get first, but
absolutely.
like we're all looking for profit in week 17 sweat, and just gotta see how these next 2 weeks go. My sprint, I have 5. None were great, but there's a couple teams that like put up just average scores or in like the 3000s now. That's like, if it puts together 2 really good weeks, again, I'm not going to be sweating like 5 or 6 figures, but maybe I'm sweating 1,000 or 750
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. We want to talk about sprint and marathon. Keep that in mind. Obviously, my marathon team has taken a massive dip. Scatterboot depth and losing Braylon Allen, and then Taj Brooks just not really doing anything. But the biggest loss, Scatterboot not having that third really, really consistent running back to hit the flex, is really caught up with me, unfortunately. Because at the beginning of the season, it was like, I was really heavily in the 140 to 160 range, popped that one week when I jumped into first in the marathon with like a 190 something score. And then since Scatterboot got injured, it's been more in like the 120s. And then I've had 2 terrible weeks. One was like 80 some points. One was set, and this week was like 78 points or something horrid. But it's still like 60 out of like the top 20, or, I forget. I actually can look it up really quick. I'll just bring it over here for 1 second, and then we will talk about loan players. And why can I not go back? Talk about anything else talk about your drafters as I pull up my marathon.
No, drafters is not going well. So
you're like, I don't want to talk about it.
Nothing there to talk. It's just bad run out the last couple weeks. Honestly, the big things there were Scatterboot, and then the Tucker Craft injury really tanked a bunch of my top drafters teams, and a couple other injuries as well. Drake London was another one. One of my top teams had Drake London missing these last few games, and then the Chase suspension didn't help. So yeah, drafters has gone a little downhill, hoping best run out as possible these last 2 weeks, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, more excited.
Go ahead. Sorry, finish.
More excited about UD and DraftKings.
Yeah, I guess that was my point is, for the season long format, which we love, both you love, on both. I would really just play a marathon on Underdog for the season long format and 2 weeks left in sprint. Again, maybe it's like, well, I'm probably not going to get, one of the top 5 or 10 or whatever. But like, if you have put together 2 amazing weeks last year, I had a marathon team that I honestly don't even know where it was before week 15. And I had Josh Allen. He had that like monster, wasn't it week 15, like a 45-point week or something like that?
Week 14 and 15 vaulted you massively.
Massively. And then, and then the week 16, 17 were like, I good to great or something like that. But it's like, it was like a short time period that like you'd be surprised what can happen in just 2 weeks. Let me just say that for both marathon, and then sprint, where we're sprinting for 2 more weeks. Marathon, we have 2 weeks left in the marathon. And so you'd be surprised what can happen in 2 weeks. And again, now I've fallen my team that I was in first for like, on and off for like, I think it was like week 7 to 11. I was in first for a good chunk of that time. And then since week 11, it was like hanging in the top 20, top 50. It just took it only scored 70 some points in week 15. It scored 77 points. And, Aaron Rodgers, it doesn't show the points each week. Aaron Rodgers counted. Dak and Herbert were huge disappointments. So, but it's at 2,007 points right now, winning 500 in 139th place. So almost where it was. Not quite. I think I was further down. I think I was closer to 200, and then I finished in like the top, 150 or something like that last year, 160, somewhere around there. But, with Rodgers having a good matchup this week, I'm hoping, and then Dak and Herbert play each other. And then of course, JT CMC combo and then just Rashad White. Scatterboot was a big loss to my whole portfolio, but mostly for this. But if Higgins can come back, Pickens get his head out of his ass. DK has a good matchup. Diggs, this is what I want to bring up about Diggs to you, Steve, because you have Diggs on multiple, really good playoff teams that you're sweating both in sprint and classic and all that. I just saw today, we're getting into incentive season, and Diggs has an incentive for I think receptions, touchdowns, yards. He probably can only likely get to the 1,000 yards, but he is like the receptions one. I think was very attainable to hit multiple more tiers, and it's like 500,000 to me. Like Vrabel, May, those seem like guys that are going to try to help their guys out. So we're talking, I know that's going to include week 18 too, which doesn't matter to us, but week 16, 17, 18, Diggs does have a lot to play for, and the Patriots have a lot to play for. So that is interesting. Yeah. So kind of Rome, obviously not sure if he'll play. That's been a really, another brutal injury. And then Higgins had a massive week 14 for me, but being out week 15 killed. So hoping 5 of these guys can play and put together a much better run.
You got good news. I mean, Higgins, practicing, but Dallas announced Dak is playing the rest of the year.
No matter what happens.
Yeah, not just good for Dak, but also good for Pickens, because I don't think, Joe Milton would be lighting it up for George Pickens. And of course for Ferguson as well. And then, so those are the only 2 teams that you're really in on that don't have anything to play for, that are not, like Steelers have a lot to play for, Bears, Chargers.
Well, and since he's playing their guys too.
Yeah, but that's my point, is these 2 teams that are out, and it's not like the Jets who are like, yeah, we're done. Like we're not putting anyone in. I'm saying like JT and McCaffrey have a lot to play for. All those other receivers, Diggs, Odunze, even if it's not this week, maybe Odunze comes back week 17. That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's a good point. Hey, maybe Washington upsets the Eagles this week, and Dak truly has something to play for this Sunday against the Chargers. So, still sweating it out, even though, probably the top prizes are out of my reach now. Listen, I'm only, I'm only like 60 some behind like 20th place, I want to say. And like, probably 80 some behind 10th place. I'm not saying I'm getting there. I'm just saying, you'd be surprised what can happen in 2 weeks. So if you're in the marathon, if you're in drafters, if you're in sprint, and it wasn't the most ideal week 15 for you, which it wasn't for Steve and I, but no, it was for, Steve had some good starts on the sprint, but like you said, some of the teams you like better are teams that are down more in like the 1,500 range. Again, maybe you're not getting first, but maybe you're still going to have a week 17 sweat. And at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. So hold on for hope for sprint marathon. We just want to do the best we can at the end of the day, or our teams, we can't do anything at this point, but root them on. We just want our teams to do the best we can. Now, Steve, let me catch up with chat, and then let's talk low owned players, week 16 matchups before we get out of here. And of course, Degen Dads will be on later tonight with Underdog Live. So let me catch up with that. I see some drafters talk, and that's, important to talk about all the many sweats we have here. So, last week was really good. Your week 17 was really good for Steve. Took 4th in the big board, took 4 hearts from the Mount Vernon Senior Center bingo hall that night too. Oh my God. Mike Robb is undefeated in chat. That's absolutely awesome. As you are going through your team, let's get these teams to finals from Best Ball Q. We appreciate you, Best Ball Q. Eddie says, if Evans gets in the end zone last week and Bijan one more time over Pitts, I probably advance 3 or 4 more teams. That's small swings, small swings in best ball. That's why it makes it the most intense sweat. Pearsall is going to be one of the most polarizing picks next year. That's probably true. That is interesting to see where he will go. And again, after week 17, we will talk about all that stuff, like early looks at like where we think the rankings will be, what we can do better, what we did right and wrong, what we can do better, all the things to prep for the big board. And of course, then playoff best ball before that starts up. If Bijan got 1 more over Pitts, I probably get 15 more teams. Wow. Yeah. Again, the swings just on their own team, like the Tracy Slayton, the Bijan Pitts, big.
And just him saying that, like before the 3rd touchdown, Cousins hit David Sills in the end zone and he dropped it. Just dropped it.
That's right.
And I know like some of those, I'm sure Huhames needed the full swing of Bijan over Pitts, but I'm sure there are some where if Pitts doesn't get that like 7 points from that touchdown, the catch and the yards and the 3rd touchdown, that wouldn't have happened if David Sills makes that catch.
Just absolutely wild. And Huckleberry makes a good point. It's hard to like not look at the teams that didn't make it. He said
Yeah.
after reviewing the tournaments, I really wish my pointer made it. A 1-3 week 16 pod is awesome. Yeah, no,
The pointer this week. Like, unfortunately, I didn't get any. I only made one to the playoffs and didn't get anything through.
Yeah, no, but it is sometimes hard to look at those teams. Like I loved my Husky teams, but they just shit the bed this in week 15. And it's hard because you think like, what could they have done week 16, 17? I think one thing I have done a good job on these past few years in best ball, because it's really been playing heavy volume since 22. And these past 3 years, I've done a pretty good job of like not looking back, not tilting myself and just focusing on what I can root on and stuff. So I'm going to try to do that, but damn, is it hard. It is hard. We got Mr. Mufasa in here. Great to see you. GM. Great to see you in here. Good luck in week 16. Steven, the STD, it's Steve's touchdown decision. Yeah. I forgot, what was the STD pick that you did with Andrew on the show?
Oh, I can't remember now.
It was like, because the Degen dads do like their pick of the week, and you had like your STD pick of the week. It was good. Top 20, Huckleberry top 20 in drafters 3 weeks ago, and then the Cowboys law has killed it. Yeah, the Cowboys law is killing Steve and I too in a season long as well. And honestly, last week 15, just oof, that really hurts. Yeah, it's like when it's going well, you love being exposed to those teams. When it goes bad, you're like, oh God, that was just awful. So we feel your pain. I'm your Huckleberry on the Cowboys. Hopefully they can bounce back against the Chargers this week. And then if we have any Cowboys action, whether it's in marathon, sprint, any of your playoff pads, they play Washington week 17. So just know that. Probably gotta be better. My back end picks, don't know when to go. Rico Suave pod. Hey, we were high on Taj Brooks. We didn't think the ghost of Samaje Perine would be getting so much action. We definitely thought it was going to be Taj Brooks as the RB2 on one of the top offenses. That did not play out as we had hoped. Yeah, love Ricky P. But definitely, I agree. You want that to be an 8% guy. Yeah, you and Eddie were both on. That. In the top 15 on the drafters main event. Is the case. Sometimes you do wish the cash. I remember thinking that in the marathon, could I take like a cash out for half? Let's see. Just because Pickens is on the field doesn't mean he's going to play. That is true. Hopefully he does the next couple weeks. Keenan Allen was a smash early. Thielen and Mims. Hey, we're all going to have good picks. We're all going to have bad picks. And you never know. Listen, MVS pushed multiple people and multiple of our teams in, and he hadn't done shit yet. I mean, Ricky P last year, talk about Pearsall, didn't do anything all year. Had like one or two like viable games all season, and then was the week 17 hero. So you never know. All right, Steve. So let's talk potential low-owned players. I can bring up, is it like best to look in BBMDB?
Yeah, BBMDB.
Okay, so let me bring that over now. Let's talk some low-owned players for week 16. So how's the best way to look at that? You're just looking for like roster players and what their percentage is. Right now I have BBM, the BBM up.
Yeah, I mean that.
Like would it show like for Burrow, like what pushed through?
If you look at each tournament, yeah. So for instance, go to the Puppy Superflex. Since I have a team in there, you have two teams in there.
Yeah. Okay, but just as an example, Burrow, right? He's 7%. 26. So does that mean he's advancing? He's only on 7.4% of the teams. Is that how I understand it?
Yeah. Wait.
Well, no. Okay. So this says 351 teams.
He's on 351 teams.
Yeah, he's on 351 teams, so 7%. Okay. Yeah. So let's do it. Since
there's no advancing because no games have been played yet.
Okay. Right. Sorry. So he's on 351%. But does that mean 7% is what?
That's what would be expected to advance.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. But 351 of how many are in the semifinals?
A lot. I mean, it's, I don't know, 20,000. No, something like that.
I'm looking for Puppy Superflex. There's Pug Superflex. Puppy, but Superflex. Okay. All right. So of, does this mean
That's how
3750?
many teams there are. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3750 puppy superflex teams that are left. Yeah, 375 will advance to puppy superflex finals. Up someone like Burrow, which I don't think he was on either of ours, was he, or with you?
You should look on guys that we are.
Yeah, I'm just curious actually for this. Yeah, 66 teams. Okay, so let me go back to we had well, who would be low owned that you wanted to talk about as far as, I mean, we know certain players in.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, like a JT is probably low owned at this point.
We didn't have him in either of ours.
Okay.
Okay. Did you? But let's look. I mean, again, let's just go through in chat. Put in anything that that you want to see in a particular tournament, or just in this tournament as an example. So JT is on 471 of the 3,700 teams. So yeah, that's pretty low owned. Let's see. I'm just reading one of ours. Okay, let's read the team we really liked. So the team we really liked.
I have JT on mine. So
what?
I have JT on mine.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, so yeah, he's low owned in that. I'm looking at the team we really like. Baker, Lawrence. Obviously, Lawrence can be high on. Rogers, Mariota. You know, those are two to look up. Gibbs had a
exactly.
Jacob Pollard, Scatterbo, Algier, Ford, Marv, Metcalf, Olave, Harris, Higgins, Kyle Williams, MVS, Freiermuth, K-Dot, and Juwan Johnson. So let's for instance look up, you know, Rogers and Mariota. Like I'm not saying that that's who's going to pop this week, but I can't imagine they're going to be high owned, even though you got them late. But so there's 365 Rogers teams of the 3,750. There are, let's see, good old Marcus Mariota, as they said. I didn't realize I was pronouncing it wrong. 31. If Mariota goes off against the Eagles, we get a big leverage there. Yeah. Let's see. I love Pat Freiermuth. Can't imagine he's super high owned. Let's see. Show me Freiermuth. 260 teams. Let's see MVS just for shits and giggles here, Steve.
Yeah, since we got him on a couple.
We have him on both. We have him on all three of our teams together. 61 teams. 61 MVS.
59 other smart people.
There you go. Let's check out Gibbs since he had a bad week. 615. Okay, still 504.
Just so you know, I have Tyler Lockett on my Puppywood Superflex.
You have Lockett? Okay, so if we get the Lockett and MVS, 273. So MVS was much less than Lockett. Gibbs was higher because obviously he had a high advance rate, even though he dudded last week. Let's see if Marv plays this week. What's Marv on? I can't imagine that is very high. 155. So that's,
Aaron Sandy asked from Chad and Buka.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, let me know if there's any others in chat since I'm on a different screen. I can't spell his name. How do you spell his name?
Egg, E-G.
Oh, there it is. There. Whoopsies. 383 out of the 33750.
So roughly 10%. Only 10% of the field has them.
Yeah.
And then he also asked DK.
Oh yeah.
Not DK Metcalf. Shamari DK.
Oh, got it. Seven. And granted, because Steve and I have two Puppy Superflex semifinals team, we're looking at Puppy Superflex, but I'm sure a lot of this, would Tiltman and Mike Evans. Didn't you have Mike Evans in Superflex? I know you have him in something else.
Let me look again.
So less than 10%, 202.
No, I don't have Evans in at least this one, not in the Puppy Superflex. Look up Diggs because I have Diggs.
Oh yeah, because he's had really rough weeks. That's a great point. It's still still under 10%, 306. Again, we are looking at Puppy Superflex, but that's what's beautiful. Shout out to Patrick Donovan. I need to give him a tip for sure. Amazing work on BBMDB. You can tip him down here. We're looking at Puppy Superflex and looking through the ownership, but you can go to any tournament you're in and look and see who could be those low end guys. Right now, Mariota would be our biggest leverage in the one. But no, that was a good shout out on Mike Evans. Like any teams you're advancing Mike Evans to the semis. Like let's look at him in the chow that you're in, Steve, because that's learning math with Meg, the banger we needed. to bounce back. Mike, I love when Mike's like Meg versus technology. Technology usually wins. Anything else you want to look at Superflex before I go to Chow Chow, Steve?
No.
Okay. And again, shout out any others. But this is fun and highly recommend. I mean, I think everybody who's a diehard is using BBMDB. If you're not, it's absolutely amazing. So let me first go. So in Chow Chow, how many are left? 232 teams are left to a 58 person finals. And Mike Evans is owned how much of those 232? Only 12. You are one of 12 that have Mike Evans. That's awesome, Steve. Anybody else on your Chow Chow while we're here that you want to look at?
I mean, well, even probably lower would be Chris Godwin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The double stack. Yeah. Yeah. So actually, Mike Evans is lower, but only 22. So I wonder how much. I'm sure Baker then, I mean, would still be 18, only 18 Baker teams. So if a Baker, you would put Peter Overzet in the Chow Chow here with a Baker stack. Look at that. I know football was fun, was high up in marathon for a while. I didn't know if I recognize any of those other names there. Do you have Diggs in that team, Steve? I think you do. Only 14. Well, we can see because, maybe not. I thought you had Diggs on that team. But yeah, this is addicting. I mean, you could do this all day with just looking at that. Who says I'm advancing a Kenny Pickett in Superflex. That's hysterical. Cooler says Gibbs is going to be super meaningful this week, coming off a total bust and getting the best spot of every running back this week, of course, against the Steelers. Yeah, and we have him on both our Superflex, so that is fun for sure. Anything else that you or anybody in chat wants to look on advanced rate, Steve? Or
just while you're there, what is Achan?
Imagine high. 32. Yeah. Because who were your running backs in that one? Oh, I can look at it here. Oh, no, that's just never mind. That's your pod.
Well, you can look at it from the pod, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Achan, yeah, I assume Cook is high owned. If Rome plays, I assume he'd be lower owned. Goddard's going to be high owned. But yeah, I mean, definitely the Baker stack. Like if the Baker stack goes off, which he was your guy last year, so that would be super fitting. That would be really awesome. But yeah, I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more for sure. Hopefully you guys appreciate this, but definitely check it out for yourself. It's super fun, super addicting. Let me catch up with chat. Then we will talk about rounding out, bringing up the week 16 schedule, going through game by game quickly. And what could be the kind of the good spots. Let's see. Yeah, we said Aaron Sandy is in here. Good to see you. He's also in Discord. Appreciate everybody that joins us over in Discord. Of course, link in the description for our Substack. To join the Substack, just $34.99 for the entire year. And you get tons of content in season, but of course, then the content all best ball season. Tilt says, I got a fun Bo Nix mega stack in the Husky 2. Probably my best chance. That's awesome. Congrats and good luck in the Husky 2 this week. Also, we are Team Jacobs here on the Fanspeak Network, Fanspeak Degen Substack, the Burry Bucky Kyron. Yeah, and fun to look how many of each team. Yeah, math and Meg and technology and Meg, always a good time. Mike Evans and the Superflex. Yeah, seeing low on Mike Evans is super, super fun. We checked these ownerships for Aaron Sandy, overrated. Who Ames went into last week with 33% having Diggs on it. Yeah, the Diggs fall last week. That was another one that hurt bad for my playoff exposure too. I was so high. Best Ball Q says I have CMC JT James Cook left in Superflex Puppy. Oh my God. I hope you're not in my pod because that's awesome. That's awesome. Good luck. And may we meet in finals, Best Ball Q. Gibbs is going to, okay. Yeah, definitely cooler. It says a great matchup this week. Aaron Sandy says 8 teams in the flock community have Mike Evans and you are one of them. Nice. I like that. I think that, so yeah, we got Panthers, Bucks. That's going to be a fun one with real light, obviously real life implications for the NFC South. But, I think obviously based on our exposures, that could be fun too. Yeah. And this is a good question, Aaron. Wonder if Tony Pollard likes it. It's been 2 weeks in a row, right? I mean,
tougher matchup versus the Chiefs, but I don't know if Chris Jones is going to play. I haven't looked at their defensive injuries.
I was going to say, are they going to shut down any players?
Really banged up. I doubt they shut down Kelsey since it's probably his swan song. So they'll probably give him at least a couple more games. But I know Chris Jones was banged up. Not sure the latest on him, but Tony Pollard, they're finally giving him the ball. It's weird, and they're actually looking decent.
Yeah, and Coolers mentions a great point. You can just look at the exposures of your teams by going to exposures, picking the tournament. So like if we are looking for our 2 Superflex teams, we would go to the Puppy But Superflex. And why can't I find it? Is it down here? Yeah, the Puppy But Superflex. And just see oops, yeah. I mean, again, Meg and technology is just absolutely awesome. And you need to spell your name right too. That's pretty important. What did I do wrong now, Steve?
I don't know.
It's always okay. Let me do this first. I mean, I only had 3 that advance. What? Oh, I'd BBM.
Hit select all. Just hit select all. That should cover it.
Okay, you can do this. I'm just a moron. So you can do that. And to Cooler's point, that's really fun because it looks what you got left. And honestly, I want to do that for sprint. Okay, again, I didn't have a great first week of sprint, but we talked about 2 weeks in sprint and marathon still means a lot. So I want to do that for sprint and just see, okay, who do I have left? Because those 2 weeks are really, really important. He's Mike Robb says based off narrative, massive targets for Kelsey and Evans. Meg, show the board. I would always braid Steve and draft, show the board. Steve, it's almost draft season. Are you getting it now that we have 3 semifinals teams together? Are you excited to draft with me again and me either braid you or yell at you?
I've been missing it.
Yeah, I figured. All right, let's talk through week 16 matchups. We know what we're rooting on. We hope Jacobs, we hope Higgins, we hope all these guys play. Now, what is the week 16 schedule that we are working with and the matchups? Let me bring that over, and I would definitely listen to Steve on matchups on that. But I'll be cramming, studying for my shows tomorrow. And then, cramming, studying for week 16 of like DFS, underdog drafts, betting, that kind of stuff tonight, tomorrow, Friday. But let me bring over the NFL schedule so we can talk it through here. Of course, starts. Can you see that okay, Steve?
It's not the best being widescreen, but it's fine.
I don't know how to change it on ESPN. How do I change it on ESPN? Is there a dark mode?
I'm not sure if there is, but you could.
Whatever. We'll power through here.
You could just Google schedule it, and if you're on dark mode, but you're not on dark mode, so.
Okay, whatever. We start Thursday night. Rams, Seattle. I'm sure we'll talk about this more tomorrow, but Seattle is favored in Seattle. I don't see this as a high scoring game. I just think it's going to be a NFC West slugfest. Are you concerned for any of your Rams Seattle exposures?
A little bit. This was a low scoring game a couple weeks ago. And especially with no Devontae Adams, that just means Seattle can focus more on Puka. And I didn't really get any JSN through. So as far as I know, I'm not too worried about that side. Probably want him to get shut down from that perspective.
Who to get shut down?
JSN.
Oh, okay. Well, JSN wouldn't get shut down. Wait, what? I'm confused.
I'm saying that this is a low scoring game. And
get him shut down. I'm sorry. I thought you meant like shut down for the season. Want him to get shut down because JSN. Yes, I need JSN to get shut down too. Okay, I brought over at least a better version here. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
So I would expect this to be a lower scoring, especially on a short week. But obviously a huge game for the division and seeding. For the NFC.
Then 2 Saturday games, one being Eagles, Washington. In Washington, I mean, I still am not impressed with the Eagles. I know Washington defense is terrible. Still think the Eagles defense or Eagles offense doesn't seem like the Eagles offense last year, but I kind of hope Washington pulls out a win here just to keep Dak with something to play for, even though they say he's going to continue playing. That's what I'm hoping for in this game. Obviously, we have Marcus Mariota in the one super flex we like, so we're rooting that on. No, it's a tough matchup, but I assume negative game script. Maybe we get some kind of garbage time. Obviously, he does use his legs. Don't think I have much. Oh, Goddard. You definitely have Goddard exposure. Yeah. I don't have much Eagles exposure. And yeah, I don't really have Commanders exposure. I don't think in my any sprint or the marathon team.
I have some Debo I need. So
okay, yeah, you have some Debo. That's right. So you have some Debo. We have Mariota. You have Goddard. But yeah, I think that one. Listen, they played Week 16 last year. Saquon stunk Week 15 and then smashed Week 16 against the Washington. So if you have any Saquon teams, he definitely could be a hammer here. And then as far as the other players in this game, who knows? We've seen low scoring Eagles Washington games. We've seen high scoring Eagles Washington games like Week 16. So tough to tell what to expect there. Then you got another divisional matchup for essentially division bragging rights for the NFC North. What do you think about this game as far as just with the Packers defense? Are you concerned about any Bears exposure? Or
I'll be interested to see if Adunze and Burden play for the Bears. I think that helps them. Packers, this is different. Like Bears move the ball. This was just a couple weeks ago. Bears moved the ball. They had a chance at the end. And also the Packers lost, their top pass rusher. So it's going to be maybe a little different this week. So particularly in Chicago. So, we have some Caleb exposure,
right,
while that's paired with Burden. So we'll see how that all plays out. And of course, Adunze, if he can come back. I don't really have DJ Moore, so hoping it's not DJ Moore.
Yeah, agreed. I tell my daughter, Meg, you need to put on your listening ears. Yeah, I was trying to find a better NFL Network like schedule view. No excuse. I didn't hear what you were saying, and I did need to put on my listening ears. You're right, Mike. Okay, so that's Thursday. That's Saturday. We're blessed with Saturday NFL. Then it takes us to Sunday, the 1 p.m. slate. We've got Bucks Panthers for the NFC South. We have a lot of exposure there. Bills Browns, Chargers Cowboys. I have in my marathon and some sprint teams, I have a lot of exposure there. Jets Saints. I would love Kamara to play for our one Superflex team. Vikings Giants. What if Scatterbo was playing? That's a bummer. Chiefs Titans, obviously without Mahomes, and Bengals Dolphins. What matchups do you stick out to you in this 1 p.m. slate?
Well, I think Bucks Panthers. We obviously have a lot of Baker and company with his weapons, but it's also another game that is for the division, a lot to play for. We've seen Baker in these games against the Panthers last year, some big games, but the Bucks secondary is kind of weak. I mean, we just saw Kirk Cousins with no Drake London just absolutely dust them for over 300 yards. So. And I'm not sure the latest on Ted and company, but maybe a Jalen Kilgore team I showed he has a big game or something. But there just could be a lot of pushback in this game, which is fun. I think the Bills, the Browns for so long were a great defense and still on paper are, but they've given up a lot of yards and points the last couple of weeks, and the Bills just have a ton to play for. So I'm not too worried necessarily for the James Cook. Last week was supposed to be a tough matchup for James Cook. He had one of the best running back scores. But yeah, that Dallas Chargers game, could be super fun. Need to check on some of the injury stuff with QJ and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's why, I mean, especially for guys like Pickens who, I need in sprint and marathon and stuff like that. That's why I hope Washington wins, because I mean, there are guys that are going to play hard no matter what, and then there's guys that might not. I just hope that Dallas still then would have something to play for if Washington upsets Philly. Yeah. And I just, for viewing pleasure, right? That would just be a fun game, even a more fun game to watch if both teams were playing for something. Obviously, Chargers are still playing for a lot of playoff seeding. Jets, Saints, Vikings, Giants, obviously. out of playoffs and everything, but anything you're looking at here in these matchups, same with Chiefs Titans.
I didn't get Chuck in any of my Superflex teams, which I did draft a bunch in Superflex. That's unfortunate because I think he's played really well in real life football, stealing wins from the Panthers and Bucks the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But we have some Olave. So
that's right.
Not sure on the Kamara situation. For the Vikings Giants, I really didn't get much through. I'd have to double check. I know Hawkinson in that one. Slayton. So I'm hoping it's a Slayton day, but that could be a tough matchup. Vikings defense ebbs and flows. Some weeks they look really good. Other weeks they look really bad. And JJ McCarthy's had his 2 best weeks and now actually might have his best matchup. Actually, I don't think I have any JJ McCarthy through, but he actually has a good matchup. So
where's Neil Orfield? Hopefully Neil, was a diehard Vikings fan, diehard JJ drafter. Hopefully he somehow squeaks some player Q on the Underdog Streets. And I know you and Neil had a really good team. I don't think you guys made semis.
No.
But you guys had a really good DraftKings team. But hopefully he snuck through a JJ team since he was a loyal drafter.
So not sure what to make on the Chiefs Titans. A lot of injury questions on like Marquise Brown Rice on the Chiefs side. Titans side, and Chiefs defense to see what the Titans can do. And then, Bengals Dolphins. Yeah. Good news that T. Higgins practiced. Good news that the Bengals are going to keep trying Joe Burrow and company out. And Dolphins, I didn't hear them shutting down a chain or anything, but boy, Quinn Ewers, I don't have a lot of faith in, but defense isn't too tough.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully that still gives us some fantasy goodness for whoever you push through in that game. Hopefully it still gives us some fantasy goodness. And then the 4 p.m. slate, we've got Falcons, Cardinals, Jaguars, Broncos. Tough matchup for the Jaguars after Trevor Lawrence put up a massive, outlier quarterback score last week. Steelers, Lions, which I'm heavily invested in basically all formats left. And think that it could have a good game environment, hopefully, to see what the total is on that currently, but hopefully it lives up and goes above the total because I think that would be good for me in the long run. And then Raiders, Texans. So thoughts on the 4 p.m. slate, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with the Raiders, Texans. Obviously, very easy matchup for any Texans. Raiders have like the toughest matchup, even if Geno is back. And so I wouldn't be too confident on some of my Raiders exposure that got through. The Jags Broncos obviously looks really tough on paper. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being a decently scoring game, a higher scoring game, just because I think the offenses are pretty good. Jags are really kind of hitting their stride, and Broncos kind of as well. Sutton just came off a big game. Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence, big games, and both have a little rushing ability, so they can contribute in that area. I think Falcons Cards is interesting. Not sure, both teams star receiver or top receiver, questionable right now, London and Marv. Bijan.
Marv, and it'll be interesting to see if London is able to.
Yeah, and then it's, potentially, I think the 2 highest projected tight ends in McBride and Pitts. But ideally, I didn't get a ton through of that, so probably not looking forward to that. I think it kind of sets up for Steelers Lions to be the shootout.
I certainly hope so for my exposures. As we know, Steelers get conservative, but they're not going to be able to be conservative in this game. So I really, really hope it's, a shootout. Fantasy goodness will help me for sure. The Broncos game, when you talked about that and, them hitting their stride. I know a lot of people in chat mentioned they have some Bo Nix stacks. So good luck to those people with that and needing Nix. And then Huckleberry, love Raiders Texans. And he's the only Stroud Nico in BBM. That's awesome. I mean, those are the kind of fun things to look at as far as ownership in your pods and in the tournaments and all that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. And then it takes us to great Sunday night and Monday night game to round out week 16 to find out what we will have sweating for week 17 and the best ball finals is Patriots Ravens Sunday night, 49ers Colts, CMC versus JT. If I have any shot of winning any even 4-figure sweat in the marathon, I'm hoping, both running backs smash in the 49ers Colts game and CMC JT have a big game there. Ravens Patriots, obviously, we have a Drake May stack. I think you still have a good bit of digs, enough digs that, and like I said, he's got incentives that'll be interesting. I believe one of our teams had Henry. I think it was the puppy, our sibling showdown puppy team has Henry. So definitely some exposure here for us. How would you break down these matchups for each team?
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots defense isn't as good as it was earlier on, particularly the run defense has taken some hits. We just, again, saw James Cook and a few other backs in more recent weeks. Chase Brown had a good game against him a couple weeks ago. So Derrick Henry probably has a pretty good matchup. Tight ends have done pretty well against the Patriots. The tight ends did well against the Bengals, and Isaiah likely got a 0. So who knows with the Ravens. But, I do think Sunday Night Football, it's going to be on the line for the Ravens. They're still fighting for it. Whether the Steelers win or lose, they're still fighting for it. And Patriots, them losing last week, now they're fighting for the number 1 seed and technically still the division because the Bills could still steal that from them if they were to drop these types of games. So, and same on the 49ers Colts. Colts are tough, but look, Rivers kept them close. It's going to be a tough matchup. 49ers defense isn't great, so maybe and also an extended week for Rivers and company. Maybe they can just look a little better. JT ran pretty well. It's just didn't have a lot of scoring opportunities. Should be more in this game. Yeah, and that could be a very fun Monday night game. And JT and McCaffrey were 2 of the best players all year. Yeah. And while they both took some hits, they weren't awful like Gibbs was in week 15. So there's enough teams through. It'll be interesting to see, what they push forward. So 2 really fun games to close out the semifinals week.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope they pass more. It was tilting the hell out of me. The Abdullah was in there so much. Hope they pass even more to JT, and we know, CMC's using the passing game. I think there's matchups are decent there. These are both fun real life and fantasy games, and hopefully both give us fantasy goodness or what we all need to have some week 17 sweat. So that was the week 16 breakout down matchup wise. So we kind of covered it all. Our week 15 tilt. What we're moving on together here in the week 16 best ball semifinals, 3 sibling showdown streams. We obviously streamed all summer long here on the Fanspeak network. And I know obviously our other content creators, I think Spread and Tyler, I'd have to see on their semifinal status, but Andrew and Justin have semifinal sweats. They'll probably talk about that tonight and Friday. I think Justin has 2 in BBM, Andrew has 1 in BBM, and then Justin has big board and Andrew has something else. So, we're all just like you all are in chat and Discord. We're all just rooting for week 17 sweat. So as long as you're not in our pod, we're rooting for you. And hopefully we, all have a great week 16 to have some week 17 sweat. So hopefully you found this show fun, helpful, because we kind of covered it all, what we're sweating, to still hold out hope, even if, things haven't gone right in season long and sprint, to sweat it out. You'd be amazed what can happen in 2 weeks, sweat those out. And then, low owned players, week 16 matchups. Final thoughts for the people, Steve?
Yeah. And just to highlight the marathon and sprint, one point I want to make earlier, you talked about last year how week 14 and 15 really vaulted you near the top of the marathon. Those easily could be a week 16, 17 for somebody, and ideally for you for the marathon or for the sprint. Like week 15 maybe didn't go great, but if you have those 2 like back-to-back really great weeks, it could vault you pretty high. So just keep that in mind for those kind of formats, and same for drafters as well. Yeah. For the other stuff, good luck to everyone. Hope we are all back here talking next week with some finals appearances and what we'll be sweating out week 17.
Absolutely. Said it perfectly. I'm your Huckleberry. Says, good luck, guys. Good luck to you. Good luck to everybody in here. We certainly appreciate your support all year long, but especially now as we're having our sweats together. Degen Dads, Andrew and Justin, will be doing Underdog Live tonight at 9:30. So come back in just less than 2 hours to see Underdog Live talking through. I'm sure they'll talk about their best ball sweats for sure, as they should. But then they're going to be talking about week 16 Underdog daily drafts and coolers and what's that? Who aims and coolers. I was thinking of then Gamblestein DFS, Who Aims, Coolers have been crushing Underdog Streets. So come and chat, drop who you're playing, because we need to listen to who Ames and Coolers too. They have been crushing it in the Underdog Streets. So this has been fun. Good luck in best ball playoffs. Stay tuned to tonight and all the rest of the content on the Fanspeak Network this week. For Steve, I'm Meg, and we will see you next time.
Fanspeak, where the plan runs deep. The team grind hard, don't eat, don't sleep. From best ball dreams to DFS streaks, they help you print money every single week. Fanspeak. No cap, no gimmicks, we breaking limits. NFL bets, yeah, we live this business. Meg and Steve, that OG vision. Yeah. Draft room killers on a lifelong mission. More stress to the Sunday spread. Fanspeak's that voice that's inside your head. Best ball, DFS, NFL bets. They built it brick by brick, no regrets. Fanspeak team.